please.
Yeah. That spice ball night vision.
I got it.
That
I don't like that. I don't like that.
That Mission Marcello?
No, Mission Marcello good. I'm talking about Spice Bomb Night Vision. This straight. It don't let. I'm gonna tell you why I don't like it. It don't last. Yeah, the black with the green label on the bottom. Yeah. It don't last that long.
What is it? Toilet?
Yeah, it don't last. I'm talking about, man. That shit do not last that long.
Let me see. Of course, that Ishimiyaki one more time. That one is staple.
See, not keep that. Yeah, big.
That's a staple.
That's why I got. That's why I just sprayed.
But that Mission Marcello, I think it's called.
You don't just put all your smell good out there, man. We live, my boy.
Oh, okay.
Heck yeah. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Dex. My brother Lamar. Lovely Lynn. Shalom. Brothers and sisters, hope you're having a good week. We can go over. I almost put beware of contentious spirits, but I'm just gonna touch on contentious spirits, man. Brothers and sisters can kind of work on they craft of being spiritual. You got to. I'm gonna tell you, it's an everyday job for brothers and sisters to work on their craft of being spiritual.
Good.
You ever think about that?
No, that's true.
That's an everyday craft to work on that.
Really?
You got to work on it. That's why even Paul said he died daily. He was working on his craft, man. Like, because sometimes, you know, you can be with brothers and be around brothers, they don't even know they're contentious. Right? Sometimes you can be around brothers and sisters, they don't even know they slothful. A lot of times brothers and sisters don't know a lot of stuff about themselves, man.
You gotta examine.
But a spiritual man or a spiritual woman gonna know, they know how to examine themselves.
Good.
Right? You know, again, if y'all, I know that it's supposed to be the cold front coming through the nation, brothers and sisters. Y'all better get yourself together, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get yourself together, man. It's gonna be the cold front coming through the nation, so show you brothers and sisters, man, be locked in, man. Yeah, I hope y'all. See, if you ain't got to buy no eggs, don't buy them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But we already know how that thing go. Especially kind of dealing with Esau and their trickery, man.
Good.
They see the Lord making the snow coming, or snow and a cold front come across the nation. They capitalize on that thing, man.
Good.
And then they capitalize on that thing, and here you go. All right? That's why it's pivotal that brothers and sisters, man, get themselves in the right spirit, man. You gotta get yourself in the right spirit, man. Let's go get to it, man. Let's get to it, man. God dang, the tea kind of warm you up a little bit, ain't it?
I love me some tea, man.
Yeah, good warm tea, boy. Ain't never hurt nobody, man. For real, though. Let's go to 1 Corinthians, man, chapter 1. Name of the class is called Contentions Spirits, man. Something we're going to deal with, man. Especially, man, you know, every class that we do is supposed to be, you know, especially if I see a spirit on a brother or a sister, you know what my first thought is? Damn, am I in that type of spirit?
Good.
Do I got some of that spirit on me? Is this something that I'm missing about myself? Is that what the Lord showing me? It's something that brothers and sisters need to be thinking about, man. Because every time I ever see any kind of spirit on any brother and sister, I first examine myself to see if I'm in that spirit. Right? And it's something that brothers and sisters should be trying to do too. Especially when you see a spirit on brothers and sisters, you got to check and see if your own self is in that spirit. Because sometimes you might be in the same spirit you trying to check somebody else on. Mm-hmm. That's what Matthew chapter 7 verse 1 is saying, and 2 and 3. He said, judge not, lest ye be judged, man.
Good.
Right? Because what matter you judge somebody, you going to meet it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why you got to make sure that you're in the right spirit, right? Let's go there, man. 1 Corinthians, on chapter 1.
Right.
We're going to start at verse 10.
Right. The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 10. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord, Mashiach Yahushua.
So good. He said he beseech you, meaning he called an order, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's telling them, hey, what I'm finna say right now, this is an important message, right?
God.
Read.
That ye all speak the same thing.
Right? He said that we supposed to be speaking the same thing, right? Read on.
And that there be no divisions among you, but...
Hold on. He said that there be no divisions among you. Meaning when brothers and sisters, man, and when y'all dealing with each other, when they talking about no divisions among you, meaning that it don't mean that brothers and sisters don't have their own special friends, or sisters don't have their own special sister that she cool with, or brother got their own special brother that he cool with. No, he's talking about going into doctrine. So we got to be making that plain.
God.
If you with IUIC, you should subscribe to their doctrine. If you with ISUPK, you should subscribe to their doctrine.
God.
If you with the Battle Axes, you should subscribe to our doctrine, right? Because we got one common goal, and the one common goal that we got is keeping the commandments.
God.
But it's gonna always be differences in doctrine because we don't see eye to eye, right? But let's read on though.
But that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind, and in the same judgment.
So he said that we be perfectly joined together in the same mind, in the same judgment. Why you think brothers can have unity camp with other brothers?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why they can have unity camp with other brothers is because of we know that our common goal is what? Keeping God's commandments. We got to keep high holy days. We got to keep Passover. We got to keep tabernacles.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? We got to teach out here on the streets. This is a common goal that the Lord got every Israelite man and camp to do, right?
God.
But read on.
Verse 11. Or it have been declared unto me of you, my brethren, by them which are of the house of Chloe.
Right, she was a person that helped Paul did the work, right? But read on.
That there are no contentions among you.
Right, so Paul said that, guess what? He had people set up in these different places to report back to him to show them what? That, hey, he need to report. Mm-hmm. Why do you think Paul wanted to go? Why you think Paul had things set up to go for him to go look at the churches? Right? Yeah, well, I know IUIC ain't having no unity camp, but if you in their doctrine, you supposed to subscribe to their doctrine. Right? If you in their camp, how would you be with IUIC and you subscribe to ISUPK doctrine? That's what I'm saying, Hosea. Even though they not gonna do no camp, we already know that. I mean, I've been in the truth over a decade, and I ain't seen them do it. So, not finna smear them brother name like that because, I mean, I learned a lot of teaching from a lot of camps. So, but I can't throw the baby out with the bad water. I mean, I can't throw the baby out with the dirty bad water, right? Even though I done learned some stuff, right? Shit. It says, when it declared, okay, verse 12, huh?
Verse 12. Now this I say, that every one of you saith, I am Paul, and I of Apollos,
right?
And I of Cephas.
Cephas is going to Peter, read.
And I of Christ.
So guess what? Meaning you said, but he just heard from Chloe, the house of Chloe, saying that there was no division. Mm-hmm. But when Paul said, he said, when I go to talk to everybody, you got division. Some say I'm of Paul, some of them say I'm of Apollos, some say I'm of Peter, and other ones say I'm of Christ, right? Meaning they have 4 different doctrines, right?
Mm-hmm.
Read on.
Verse 13. Is Yahushua divided?
So it said, it's asking, is Christ divided? Read.
Was Paul crucified for you?
Right, read.
Or were ye baptized in the name of Paul?
Read on.
I thank God that I baptized none of you, but Crispus and Gaius.
Right, read.
At least any should say that I had baptized in my own name.
Right, because when Paul got the better understanding of what baptism was, guess what? Mm-hmm. He started baptizing what? With the word of the Lord. Right, read.
And I baptized also the household of Stephanus. Besides, I know not whether I baptize any other.
Right, read.
For Hamashiach sent me not to baptize,
But what?
but to preach the gospel.
Read on.
Not with wisdom of words, lest the cross of Hamashiach should be made none effect.
Meaning what? He can't go into the water baptism. Right? This is Paul saying that there can't be no divisions in that thing, man. Right? Because it's actually, is Christ divided? No, he's not divided. Right?
Come.
That's why I say you can't go from this school to this. You got to have a doctrine.
Come.
Right? He is, and even the Lord expects us to continue in the doctrine which we have learned, man.
Come.
Let's go to Philippians right quick. All right? Get some more on that. Philippians chapter 1 and chapter 1. Start at verse 14.
The book of Philippians, chapter 1, verse 14. And many of the brethren in the Lord waxing confident by my bonds.
So by my bonds, meaning Paul was going through some stuff, man. And so, but when Paul stayed strong, and so when people seen how strong Paul was, guess what? They like, damn, I'm ready to endure some of these things, man.
Come.
Right? Read.
Are much more bold to speak the word without fear.
He said, much more bold to speak the word without fear, right? Read.
Some indeed preach Hamashiach even of envy and strife, and some also of goodwill.
So this is why you got to beware of these contentious spirits, because some people they preach the word, meaning they learn this word for envy and strife, and some people learn the word for goodwill. And this is something that you got to start thinking about in your everyday walk, because sometimes people go into that frame of mind, right? That goes into puffed up knowledge, right? But even a person that said he learning for envy and strife, and then he said some also for good. Thinking about this, you might see a brother that's fervent in his truth and strong in his truth. And, you know, be like, damn, man, I need to get a portion of that. Just like Elisha did Elijah. He wanted a portion of his spirit, man.
Come.
Right? But he wasn't envy and strife over there. What he was doing, he was trying to do the goodwill of the Lord, man. So there's a difference between the two. Right? But you see a brother like in Acts, the brother in Acts was asking Peter to sell the truth, right? He thought that this truth came by if he bought it. And Peter explained to him, no, you can't buy this. He said, your money will perish with thee, right?
Come.
So, you know, I was gonna go get it, but nah, I ain't gonna go get it right now.
Okay.
Right? But let's read on though. Let's get some more on it.
Come. Verse 16.
Verse 16.
The one preach Hamashiach of contention.
So because guess what? Here it comes. Some people teach Christ for contention, right? What we doing right now is supposed to be for the edification of the nation.
Come.
Right? What we doing right now is supposed to be building of the spirit. We supposed to be getting ourselves in the right frame of mind. And we also supposed to be trying to glory in the Lord, man. But we do understand that things gonna happen in His truth.
Come.
Right? We also know that if we go through things in truth, but we also know that we got to be mindful of who our God is. Right? Knowing who our God is, I could tell you, before I got into the truth, it was about this happened maybe 15 years ago. And it was one thing that kind of woke my eyes up. But the spirit was in me had spoke a word that I still keep right now. It was a preacher. It was a dude that was working at my job. He was ordained preacher. And he said, he came in the break room, and I was cussing, using curse words. And he said, he called me by my government name, said, you can't use no curse words. He said in front of me, I'm a preacher. I looked at him, I said, man, I don't give a damn what you is. I curse every day and God hear me, who the hell you supposed to be? Right? Bro, after that, brother didn't say another word to me. We never spoke to each other, never another day. And still ain't spoke to him now. But what we can understand, God's word gonna always stand.
God.
Right? It's gonna always stand, man. Right? But watch how it says some people preach for strife, right? One preach Christ of contention.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Read.
Not sincerely.
Not sincerely, because when you see a person teaching and he ain't sincere, it's gonna show. Right?
Mm-hmm.
When you see a person that's not genuine about this truth, it's gonna show, man. Right? Because sometimes you can get these spirits set up in you, and guess what? You'll forget about counsel. You'll forget about the scriptures. Mm-hmm. You'll forget about your salvation. You'll even throw away everything that you work for because you're trying to feed that spirit that's in you. And we can't do that. Right? That's going off.
Sure.
I don't care if it's me or anybody else, that's going off. You can't feed that spirit in you. If you're not feeding it with this word, you're not feeding your spirit, man. That's just the bottom line of it, man.
God.
But let's read on now.
Supposing to add affliction to my bonds.
So guess what? When you teach this thing of contention, the Lord says you add an affliction to your bond, man. Mm-hmm. Meaning you making your walk harder than you have to make it. You don't have to make your walk this hard, but some people do, right? But read on.
But the other of love,
But the other of love, read.
Knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel.
See, because some people preach Christ for goodwill, and some people don't. Though some people teach for a good contention. The one to teaching for goodwill, it says those are the things knowing that they are being a defense for the gospel. I mean, they're gonna speak a truth in season and out of season.
God.
Right? And we're gonna touch on that a little bit today. But let's read on.
God. Verse 18. What then? Notwithstanding, every way, whether in pretense,
Whether in pretense, read.
Or in truth.
Or in truth, read on.
Hamashiach is preached.
Christ is gonna be taught, no matter if it's contentious or not. Guess what? You're gonna be teaching the Lord.
God.
Guess what? I'm gonna tell you what's funny about people that's being in the truth. Even when people get out of the truth, you still quote scriptures. The Lord still got a spirit in you, right? That you still talk about him. Mm-hmm. Right? The Lord still got a spirit in you that, guess what, no matter how much you strive against his truth, you still gonna come back and say something about the truth. You cannot turn off what the Lord ordained in you, right? But we try to do our actions thinking that the Lord, well, I just forget the truth. I'm just gonna do what I want to do. And guess what? And guess what happens? You still gonna speak your word. You still gotta come back. Man, look here, like the Lord said, you got to come back and see me. Mm-hmm. You still got to come back and see him no matter what. You can get mad all you want to. You still got to come back and see the Lord.
Come.
How the hell you think you're going to make it to the kingdom? You think you're going to walk by a Mashiach Yahushua and that's not give him his due benevolence?
Yeah, due diligence.
Right? You think you just going to walk past Christ? Man, you crazy as hell, man.
Tell me.
Right? But read on.
Come. Verse 19.
No, he said, and now therein do rejoice.
Yeah, come. And I therein do rejoice, yea, and will rejoice.
And will rejoice, because guess what? Christ said, don't matter. You can't do nothing for this. You can't do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. Mm-hmm. You can't, right? Watch it, verse 19.
Verse 19. For I know that this shall turn to my salvation through your prayer.
Through your prayer, read.
And the supply of the Spirit of Mashiach.
Right. Because the Lord sent Christ's Spirit all through the earth, man. Right? Meaning, he sent Christ's Spirit all through the earth, meaning he sent the word of God. Right? Mm-hmm. Through the earth. Right?
Come.
Let's go to Proverbs chapter 13, man. Show you about this contentious spirit, man. Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 10. Started verse 8. Watch this. This is powerful.
Come, the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 8.
All right.
The ransom of a man's life are his riches.
So guess what? When the person looking for their riches, the Lord said the ransom of your life is your riches. Meaning what? Let me see what you get out of it, Ehud.
He'll do anything for that money.
No. The ransom of your life is your riches. The things that you sacrifice is your riches. Right? Ransom meaning what? What do you do in ransom?
You got to pay it to free something.
You got to pay it to free something.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
So the ransom of your life is your riches, meaning what? The things that you put in is your riches.
Okay.
Right? It's going to explain it, but read on.
But the poor here is not rebuked.
He said, but the poor here not the brute, meaning what? If you don't put nothing in yourself, when you get ready to get rebuked, you can't understand it. You understand that?
Okay.
So when a person getting rebuked, they can't understand what the rebuke for.
I look at it in a different way.
Yeah.
With kind of like how the rich man acted and the poor man didn't hear rebuke because he wasn't in sin. He was just trying to make it.
That's right.
Okay.
You see it? Verse 9.
Verse 9. The light of the righteous rejoices, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out.
Right? It said the light of the righteous shall rejoice, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out.
God.
Something that brothers and sisters need to be thinking about, man. Right?
God.
Verse 10.
Verse 10. Only by pride cometh contention.
This is the only way you can be contention. You got pride in you. This is the only way. It's letting us know if a person have contentious spirits, you therefore have pride in you. That's the only way you can have a contentious spirit. It's the only way. When a brother or sister can't let nothing go, you got pride in you.
God.
When you hold on to things and when you not take counsel, you got pride on you. If you don't hear, first and foremost, if you don't hear to what the scriptures say, you got pride on you, man. Right? And guess what? The Lord is gonna take care of the people that show their pride, man. Right? If you got that pride on you, the Lord gonna make good with it.
God.
And we hope brothers and sisters ain't shake that, but you better shake it. Right?
God.
He said, only by contention cometh pride. Only by pride cometh contention. That's the only way you'll be contention. You got to have that pride in you.
God.
But read.
But with the well-advised is wisdom.
But the well-advised, meaning that person that taking counsel. The person that can hear. Right? That's why I say in verse 8, but the poor hear not rebuke.
God.
Right? But when you well-advised, meaning guess what? A person of understanding, you will show that you got understanding. Right?
God.
That's the only way. You got to show that you got understanding, because there's a lot of people don't show that they got understanding about anything, right? They understanding becomes not, because they get this way set up in themselves, and they get in trouble, right? Let's go to James chapter 3.
Okay.
All right. James chapter 3. We're gonna start at verse 13. Watch what this say.
Okay. The book of James, chapter 3, verse 13. Who is a wise man and endured with knowledge among you?
So thinking about the things. If you be around brothers and sisters, right? Just think about everybody that be in camps, everybody that deal with brothers and sisters on a day-to-day basis, everybody that deal with brothers. Guess what? The Lord is dealing with people that's in Israel. It's asking you. It said, "Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you?" Right?
God.
Watch how I read. Read on.
Let him shew out of a good conversation his works,
Right.
with meekness of wisdom.
You see how that go?
God. It's tough.
You got to show your work with meekness of wisdom, man. Right? You know, a lot of times, when you dealing with brothers and sisters, and people gonna show you who they are. It's then up to you to either help their brothers and sisters grow, or it's then up to you to cast your brothers and sisters out. Right? But if you was a wise man, you'll know how to handle them per se the scriptures. Right? Because I see spirits on brothers all the time, don't mean I engage in it. Right? Because some things that brothers and sisters got to work through, but they gonna have to go through the Lord, man. Everything can't come through everything can't come through your leadership, right?
Sure.
Some things you got to get down. All things you supposed to get down on you supposed to be going in your prayer closet and pray. All things you supposed to. But sometimes, some people, like the scripture say, you need counsel too. Right? Because you need to go to basically this is the people that the Lord called the seers. Right?
Good.
Meaning the prophets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, verse 14, watch
Verse
this.
14. But if ye have bitter envy and strife in your heart.
If you have bitter envy and strife in your heart, read.
Glory not.
You said don't glory over those things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Read.
And lie not against the truth.
And it said lie not against the truth. Right? One thing about it, and this is what brothers and sisters got to feel. I don't care how mad a person get or how much they get out the spirit. One thing we got to know, it's no substitute for the truth. A lie is a lie and the truth is the truth, right? Wrong is wrong, right is right.
Good.
That's why the Lord said, when it comes to evil, make it simple. Make evil simple. Did the Lord say you can do it? No. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Did the Lord say you can do it? Yes. Right? Just distinguish between the two. Just got to make it real simple, man. We ain't got to make this no long, drawn out. Just make it simple, right?
Good.
But let's read on.
Verse 14 from the top.
Mm-hmm.
But if ye have bitter envy and strife in your heart.
Because this can set up in your mind, right? No matter how much meekness and wisdom that you can show, a strife in your heart can come on because some spirits can try to pull you out the spirit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like Brother Ephraim said, ain't no gray areas in that thing too.
Good.
Right? But read on.
Glory not.
He said, glory not, read.
And lie not against the truth.
And don't lie against the truth, man. Meaning, guess what? No matter how upset you get or no matter how things going, still let God be true and let every man be a liar.
Good.
No matter what. Right?
Good.
But read.
Verse 15. This wisdom descendeth not from above.
But what?
But it's earthly. Sensual. Devilish.
Meaning that guess what? When you got the bitter envies and strife in your heart, it said these things are devilish. These things are sensual. Meaning these things right here, going into carnal minded. Mm-hmm. Right? And these are the things that we don't need to set up in our spirit because any brother and sister can get a carnal mind, but you got to catch it, right? And once you catch it, you can pull yourself back in, get back in the spirit, right? Right? Read on.
God. Verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
For where envy and strife is.
For where envy and strife is, read.
There is confusion in every evil work.
It said, for envy and strife is confusion in every evil work. Right?
Mm-hmm.
This is something that the Lord expecting us to work through, man. This is something that, because we gonna go through things, man, in this truth. And the Lord expects us to go through things in this truth. But the Lord say the better is the end of things. Meaning if some things that we got to go through because we got to fix these things along the way. And if we don't fix these things along the way, it's going to get worse and worse. So we got to learn to start fixing things as we go. Right? Mm-hmm. This is why we practicing a righteous acts. Because we fixing a lot of things, man, that we had got wrong, man. Right? But let's read on now, because it's got some more good stuff in here, man.
God, verse 17. But the wisdom that is from above.
But the wisdom that comes from the Holy Spirit, read.
Is first pure.
It said first is pure, man, read.
Then peaceable.
Then it brings you peace. So when that spirit's not bringing you peace, then guess what? It's something that we need to be straightened out to get some peace. Right? It said from the blood, it first is pure, meaning guess what? It's undefiled. It's always true. Right? Meaning then peaceable, that's number 2, read.
Gentle.
And it's gentle, that's number 3.
And easy to be entreated.
Meaning, and number 4 is easy to be entreated. Meaning what? If I explain it to you, you can easily understand it.
Come.
Right? Read.
Full of mercy.
Verse number 5, it says full of mercy. Meaning having compassion on a person. Or on yourself too. Right? Read.
and good fruits.
It's number 6. You already know the fruits of the Spirit, man. He said the good fruits. Read.
Without partiality.
It means it's gonna be always clear.
Mm-hmm.
That's number 6. It's always clear. It ain't no bull crap. It's just always clear.
Good.
No partial. Partial truth ain't a good truth, right?
Good.
Read.
And without hypocrisy.
That's number 7. Right? It ain't no talking back of it, nothing. It's just where it's at, right?
Good.
Read.
Verse 18. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace.
It said the fruit of righteousness is sown in them of peace to the people that make peace, man. Why you think Christ was talking about in Matthew chapter 5 when the Lord said, blessed are the peacemakers, man?
Good.
Right? Matthew chapter 5, verse 19. I'm going to read it right quick. He said, the book of Matthew chapter 5 and verse 19. Not 19. Book of Matthew chapter 5 and verse, I'm going to start at verse 7. It said, blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Right? Verse 8, Matthew chapter 5 and verse 8. It said, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Man, that's heavy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Meaning the Mashiach, the king. Right? And in verse 9, it said, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Right? Man, this is a heavy thing that Christ is going into, man. Right? All these things that it's talking about in James chapter 3, this is what Christ is covering right now, man, in Matthew chapter 5, man. He's definitely covering these things so us as people that we can see this thing, man. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 5 says, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth, because the meek gonna get the earth. You ain't gonna give the earth to some puffed up ass Negro that don't want to listen, or Hispanic that don't want to listen, or a Native American that don't want to listen.
Good. Can't do the work like that.
He can't, the Lord can't use us if we not listening to him.
Good.
What good is a son to a father if the son, man, what good is a son to a father if the son don't listen? You got to think about when Christ is the son of the Most High God. What you think, how would you think it's going to look that Christ is not listening to the Lord? They're going to have to be on one accord, man.
That's crazy.
What does it look like for a husband and wife not to be on one accord, man? Your family not to be on one accord. What that look like, man? The Lord is displeased with it, man. We have to get in our mindset. You know what? I'm going to put everything to the side, and I'm going to do what the Lord say.
Come.
Right? And once we can get these things in order, man, we all can build. Don't think that we can't, because real love comes from above.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Real love genuinely comes from above, man. And we need it, man. Right? The Lord ain't, I'm gonna tell you something, the Lord ain't make no fools, man. The Lord have not made no fools. He ain't made, guess what? When the Lord made the sisters, he made them the best of the best. And bros, we need to pay attention that the Lord did make them that way. And sisters, when the Lord made the man first, guess what? He made the man. Guess what? The Israelite man, and we talking about the Israelite woman and the Israelite man. He made both of us the best of the best. Right? And even our children, he made them the best of the best. And we got to think about that, man.
Come.
Right? He didn't make us imperfect. The Lord made us perfect. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Go to Isaiah chapter 5, man, verse 40. I mean, Isaiah chapter 5, verse 4. The Lord made all of us, man. He made us good, man. Just like everything else he made. And when he made it and he seen it and it was good. Right? And he made us and it was good for him too. Right? We ain't got no slothful God that he can't, slack God that he can't save us and out of our conditions. And
Mm-hmm.
right? No, we got a Lord that's so merciful that he really gonna be there for us, man.
Good. You said Isaiah 5 and 4?
Yeah, verse 4.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 4. What could have been done more to my vineyard?
Isaiah 5 and verse 4. Isaiah 50 and verse 4, July.
Oh, okay.
I said 5. Isaiah 50.
I had to look. I was like, dang, am I in the right place?
Uh-huh.
All right, the book of Isaiah, chapter 50, verse 4. The Lord God hath given me the tongue of the learned.
So the Lord, he said, the Lord gave me the tongue of the learned, right? Thinking about it, the Lord said he gave us. This is what he given to all the children of Israel. He giving us a tongue of the learned, but we have to use our tongue of the learned the right way. Right? Brothers and sisters, we got to be paying attention, man. Because in any situation or anything goes on in our life, we got to be able to start thinking our way through these situations. He give us a mindset, man, we got the greatest mind in the world. We got to use it, though. We can't just use it when it's for malice and for play. Now, we got to use it sometime when we in time of trouble, too. And when we're in time of need. It's time for us to use our mind even more, right? Isaiah 50 and verse 4, read it, huh?
All right, the book of Isaiah, chapter 50, verse 4 from the top. The Lord God hath given me the tongue of the learned.
Right, meaning he gave us a good word that we can speak out of our mouths, right? Read.
That I should know how to speak a word in season.
So the Lord said we gave us a word that we know how to speak in season. What does that even mean? That we can be able to speak a word in season. Right? Hold it right quick. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3. This is what the season that the Lord is talking about. That we know how to speak a word in season. What season do we know how to speak in? Ecclesiastes chapter 3. And start at verse 1.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season. He
said, to everything there is a season. You understand that? Right? To everything there is a season. Meaning anything that you go through is going to be some kind of season you're going to go through with it. Whether it's going to be a good season, bad season, mourning, crying. It's going to be, if you read Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1, these are all the emotions of a man or a woman or a child or a animal. Yeah, understand that. Anything God created, guess what? It said, to everything there is a season. It didn't say some things there's a season. It said every. So, I mean, everything the Lord made, it's going to be a season. Right? It said, to everything there is a season. Read.
And a time to every purpose under the heaven.
And it's going to be a time and purpose to everything under the heaven, no matter what. And that means that we got to use our mind while we're in those seasons, no matter what. Right? Jump over to Proverbs right quick. Chapter 15. Means we got to use our mind in those seasons, man. And the Lord expecting us, because we going, brothers and sisters, it's not a strange thing for people to go through something. Right? It's not a strange thing that we in the winter, in the dead of the winter, and this is the mean season. It's not, I'm going to tell you another thing. It's not a strange thing. This is not a strange thing that the Lord will put the snow all over the earth and people got to be in the house and get along with each other. Brothers and sisters better start thinking about that.
You know something else? You got to put ice on certain things to heal it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Watch this. Isaiah chapter 15. Proverbs chapter 15. We'll start at verse 23.
Verse 23. All right. The book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 23. A man hath joy by the answer of his mouth.
Right.
And a word spoken in due season.
And a word spoken in due season, read.
How good is it?
Meaning, how good is that word that's spoken in due season, man? Right? Because into every purpose on the earth, it's a season for those things, man. Right? We got to understand how the Lord makes things work for us, man. And if we don't think it is, guess what? He ain't the fool, we the fool. He gave us a blueprint on how these things is supposed to be. Right? Even if you make yourself to become a fool, when it's time for when you make yourself a fool, so when it's time for you to speak something real to somebody or giving somebody some advice, guess what's going to happen? It's going to be rejected. Right? Watch this. Go to Sirach chapter 20.
20 and 20, 20.
No, 20 and 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sirach chapter 20 and 20.
The book of Sirach, chapter 20, verse 20.
Right?
A wise sentence shall be rejected when it cometh out of a fool's mouth.
He said, wise sentence is going to be rejected when it come out of fool's mouth, right? Read.
For he will not speak it in due season.
And he ain't going to speak that word in due season. That's why he gave us a tongue to learn and an ear to learn. He expected us to speak these words in due season, in real time. Meaning we gonna have to, he gave us a tongue to learn and an ear to learn. Meaning we can hear and comprehend, and we can speak in different seasons and comprehend. He ain't make this by nothing, right?
Good.
Right? Let's go back to Isaiah chapter 50. Let me see what you got right quick.
No problem.
Is you live?
Yeah, I'm on.
Let me see it. Go to Isaiah chapter 50.
That's where we left off at. We left off at 4.
Huh?
We left off at 4.
Yeah, go back to 4.
Come. The book of Isaiah, chapter 50, verse 4. The Lord God has given me the tongue of the learned.
He said, the Lord God has given me the tongue of the learned. Read.
That I should know how to speak a word in season.
He said that I may know how to speak a word in season. Read.
To him that is weary.
To him that is weary, right? You got to learn how to speak these words, man.
Come.
Right, read.
He wakeneth morning by morning.
Meaning, guess what? These words these words rise up early, and the understanding rise up early. This thing ain't coming late. That means you able to catch it early. That's why I say he wakened it morning by morning, meaning this understanding is not going away. Morning by morning, day by day, you'll get an understanding on how you're supposed to have this tongue and the ear to learn, right? Read.
Come. He waketh my ear to hear as to learn.
You see how they go?
Come.
He's not gonna forsake you, man. But he expect for you to use that tongue of the learn, man. Right? Watch this. Go to Proverbs chapter 10. He expecting brothers and sisters to use it, man. He expecting all of us to use this. Right? Watch this. Because when you be around people, sometimes things set up in people's spirit. And you got to be able to watch that stuff too. And if brothers and sisters not watching the spirits that's around them, it may be stuff happening around brothers and sisters all the time. And guess what? And people act like they don't know what it is. Hatred can set up in anybody, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Go to
verse 12.
Yeah, we can go to verse 12. Read.
Come. The book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 12. Hatred stirreth up strife.
He said, hatred stirs up strife, right? Read.
But love covereth all sins.
But the love will cover. What that mean?
So hatred's gonna keep things going.
Hatred keep things going, meaning keeping the evil work going, right?
By blowing on sparks.
Right?
Yeah, and then the love covereth all sins. If you show love, that can pretty much eliminate having the contention of the strife.
Meaning what?
Love.
But what kind of love, though?
Righteous love, brotherly love, sisterly love.
Commandment love.
Come.
This is, make it plain, right?
Come.
Read on.
Verse 13. In the lips of him that have understanding.
In the lips of him, so in the lips of him having understanding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is found, read.
Wisdom is found.
Wisdom is found, right? Read.
But a rod is for the back of him that is void of understanding.
Meaning, guess what? You'll make your walk harder.
Come.
That's just plain, right? But read on.
Come. Verse 14. Wise men lay up knowledge.
Right? He said, wise men lay up knowledge. Read.
But the mouth of the foolish is near destruction.
He said, but the mouth of the foolish is near his destruction. Right? Read.
Verse 15. The rich man's wealth is his strong city.
Right? Read.
The destruction of the poor is their poverty.
Man, but it's going to break that down.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Pay attention. Stay spiritual with it, though. Read.
God. Verse 16. The labor of the righteous tendeth to life.
The labor of the righteous tended to life, meaning a man riches is what is his life.
God. Ransom. Like we read. There's ransom, like we read earlier.
That we just read earlier. Is his ransom.
God.
Right. Read.
God. The fruits of the wicked to sin.
The fruits of the wicked, like to the poor, that's his sin, right? It's just comparing the two, how you can get yourself engulfed in it, right?
God.
But watch it read. He got more on there.
Verse 17. He is in the way of life that keepeth instruction.
He is in the way of life that keepeth instruction, right? Meaning what? You'll be on the right path if you keep your instruction. If you reading your scriptures, you taking counsel, you doing what you need to do. This is how you get yourself, man, built up in the Lord, man.
God.
Right? Read.
But he that refuseth reproof erreth.
But he that refuses reproof, read.
Erreth.
They err, man. Right? Our brothers and sisters pay attention that he that refuses reproof, you gonna err. Meaning you don't take good counsel, man. Because some brothers and sisters don't take good counsel.
God.
Right? Sometimes I'm just being honest with you. If you ain't gonna take no counsel, you might well not even come to counsel.
God.
You might well be where it's at because you don't waste our time. Right? Ain't no sense of you wasting our time, especially if you ain't gonna take no counsel. Because that's gonna probably be one of the things I ask before we do give counsel. I'm like, man, is you gonna take counsel? Are you gonna listen to counsel? If they just make it plain. Just say yes or no. Right? Watch it. But it got more though. Watch it. Read.
Verse 18. He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. Because
a lot of times, and it just not meaning just like a physical, like, full out hatred. No, it goes into hiding. Hatred goes into a lot. You can physically hate a person, right? You can spiritually hate a person. You also can hate a person, meaning what? If I'm telling you something right and you don't want to listen, that's hatred too. Right? Verse 19 is the point.
Verse 19. In the multitude of words, there is wanted not sin.
Right? It wanted not sin, but what?
But he that refraineth his lips is wise.
Because you can tell when a person gets full of sin. Right? But you trying to give them the scriptures and they want to keep on talking. They overtalk the word. They overtalk everything. But you giving them the scriptures. They don't care about that, man. Right? Let's see what Sirach chapter 4 and verse 29 say right quick. Sirach chapter 4 verse 29.
The book of Sirach chapter 4 verse 29. Be not hasty in thy tongue.
You said, don't be hasty in your tongue. Meaning speaking ill and showing hatred with your tongue. Speaking something ill, right? But watch how I read, though. Read.
And in thy deeds slack and remiss.
And in thy deeds slack and remiss. Meaning what? It says, in thy deeds slack and remiss. If you showing hatred in your tongue, meaning you being hasty, you talking down, you talking as some kind of fool. Get what the Lord saying that your deeds, guess what, you slack and you remiss. I mean, the Lord's not working with you doing that, man.
God.
He's not a part of somebody downplaying the next brother. But what he is part of is trying to build brothers up and get their spirit out, different evil spirits out, brothers, man.
God.
That's what I got about, getting evil spirits out, brothers and sisters, man. That's evil. And trying to help us build ourselves so we can try to make it to the kingdom, man, Lord willing, man.
God.
Right? You're expecting us to do these things, man. Because a lot of times, this is what brothers and sisters have a problem with. And the Lord got a problem with this too. Go to Ephesians chapter 4 right quick. All brothers and sisters, man, I'm telling you, a lot of brothers and sisters, man. And I'm telling you, I don't give a damn if you if you're a bishop, high priest, chief priest, I don't care if you deacon, captains, officers, soldiers, members, I don't care who you are. We got a problem with this. I don't care if you call yourself a preacher, pastor. I don't care if you call yourself a Christian, Muslim. Men in general have a problem with this right here. Go to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26.
Come. The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 26. Be ye angry and sin not.
It said, be angry. The Lord said we can be angry at things, but sin not. But we have a problem with this. Watch this. It ain't that a person have a problem with being angry and sinning not. This next part is the heaviest part of it. This is the part that people got of it. Read.
Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
This is what people got a problem with. People got a problem with letting the sun go down on your wrath. Because what happens to brothers and sisters, hey, I forgave you, but I ain't forget it. Right?
They keep that seed of contention.
They keep that seed of contention in their spirit.
Good.
And guess what happened? The very next verse happens. When you keep that in your heart, this is what happens for the very next verse. Read on.
Verse 27. Neither give place to the devil.
That's what happens when you keep that spirit on you. You just gave place to the devil.
Good.
That's all he needed.
Yeah.
And guess what's going to come next? Pride, contention, strife. All these things just started to set up, man.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the things that, brothers and sisters, we got to work through these things. We got to help each other work through these things, man. Man, we need each other, man. We all we got, man.
Good.
Let's see where they're getting this from. Because this was quoted, too, in the Old Testament, but it's saying in a different way, right?
Psalms 4 and 4.
Yeah, let's go get it. That's exactly what it is.
The book of Psalms.
Hold on, let me make it there. Go get this. It's the book of Psalms.
Mm-hmm.
It's chapter 4 and verse 4. Let's read it.
The book of Psalms, chapter 4, verse 4. Stand in awe and sin not.
It says, stand in awe and sin not. That means being angry, but sin not. Right? Read.
God. Commune with your own heart.
Hold on. That means check your own heart. Check your spirit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Stand in awe, but sin not. Commune with your own heart means check your spirit. Read.
Come upon your bed.
Meaning when you get ready to lay down to sleep, before I go to sleep, I'm going to check my spirit, make sure I'm in the right place. Because we can lay up these spirits on us, and here we go. We got to learn that the Lord is greater than our hearts. If you're going to let something go, let it go. We got to truly let the Lord fight for it. But guess what? I'm going to tell you something. The Lord ain't made no fools, though.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get it twisted. That's why the Lord gave us an ear to learn and a tongue to learn. He ain't made no fools. But what we got to think about is that the Lord said, commune with your own heart upon your bed.
Mm-hmm.
And read the last part.
And be still.
And he said, and be still.
Salah.
Right? Meaning what? Don't take your own action. Meaning the Lord got this.
Come.
Don't keep that stuff in your heart. You got to let it go. Right?
Come.
Watch this. Read on.
Verse 5. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness.
He said, this is the offering. When the brother and sister can let those things go, the Lord said, these the offerings of sacrifice of righteousness. You see how they go?
Come.
The Lord literally called, if you can let those spirits go and let the Lord fight and being angry and sin not and not giving place to the devil, guess what? And you commune and you check yourself on the spirit, guess what? The Lord said you literally just offered up a sacrifice of righteousness. That's what I want. Right?
Come.
And I pray that in any situation I can be in the right mind to give a sacrifice of righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is a spiritual sacrifice that the Lord is talking about that we're supposed to be giving anyway.
Come.
Right? But read on. He said, read verse 5 in totality. Read this.
The book of Psalms, chapter 4, verse 5 from the top. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in the Lord. Because
those sacrifices of righteousness, these are the things that the Lord said we put our trust in the Lord with those things. Right? That show the Lord that I trust you. Right? This literally shows the Lord I trust you. Right? And this is what the Lord expecting us to do, to trust him. He know that if you think the Lord don't know what you're going through, you got to be out your mind. Right? The Lord sees all things. He knows all things. He knows what's going on. But watch how it go. It's got some more. This thing is heavy, man. Read it.
Good. There be many that way. That say.
It's that there be many that say, read.
Who will shew us any good?
You see how they go? It's going to be a lot of people. Who going to tell me something? Who going to tell me about, who gonna check me? Who going to check me? Hey. You think who gonna check you? Let's read. Watch this though.
Come, Lord, lift thou up the light of thy countenance upon us.
So he said, guess what? Who gonna check me? The Lord said, I'm gonna lift my light of countenance upon you. Meaning, if you're not in the right spirit, the Lord come down and bring vengeance on your ass. Right? You better get your spirit right, man.
Good.
Right? Watch this. Read on. Watch this.
Good. Verse 7. Thou hast put gladness in my heart.
Right? Because when you give an offering of righteous, the Lord will put gladness in your heart. Meaning, guess what? He'll show you that, you know what, it's okay. I got this, right? Read.
Thou hast put gladness in thy heart more than in the time that their corn and their wine increased. Meaning
that he said he gave you more gladness than the time that we gave out corn and wine. Meaning he gave us more gladness for a spiritual sacrifice than for a carnal sacrifice. Because the corn and wine, it goes into an offering, right? That you gave to the Levites, right? Verse 8.
Verse 8. I will both lay me down in peace.
So guess what? So when we get ready to lay down in peace, that means, as I say, let your sun, he said, don't let the sun go down on your wrath, man. So when you get ready to lay down, the Lord expects you to lay down in what? In peace. And that's what he's expecting for husbands and wives. He expects you to lay down in peace. He don't expect you to go to bed all mad and pissed off at each other. That ain't how it goes. He expects y'all to lay down with each other in peace. Right? And read.
And sleep.
And do what?
And sleep.
And take your ass to sleep. Read.
For thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety.
Because the Lord got you in safety. This is what the Lord expecting us to do, man. These things is heavy, man. We expect brothers and sisters to have that understanding. Right? We expect everybody, brothers and sisters, to have some understanding about that, man. As long as we learn to check our spirit on some things, man, the Lord gonna let us dwell in safety, man. He gonna bring that peace of mind in our walk. He gonna bring that peace to us, man. Right? Even y'all already know, beloved brother Paul, man. Him and they got into a bad dispute. You know what I'm saying? Him and Barnabas, they got into a bad dispute. Right? Because Paul wanted to do what?
Go visit the churches.
He wanted to go visit the churches. Because he was setting things up in order for the Lord. Right? And Paul wanted to go visit the churches. But Barnabas wanted to visit the church, but he wanted to bring somebody else. But Paul said, no. This brother left us, man, and we were trying to do the work, and this brother left us. I'm not taking him with us.
Barnabas didn't have a vision.
Because Barnabas did not have it. Right? And so what happened later to Barnabas? He called Barnabas over there with Peter, and they was giving in to whatever they was doing over there. And Paul had to check both of them. Still. You know what I'm saying? And that's love, though. Right? That's real love, though. Go to Proverbs chapter 22, man. Right? Proverbs chapter 22. Proverbs chapter 22, start at verse 10.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 10. Cast out the scorner.
So the Lord said, cast out the scorner, read.
And contention shall go out.
And contention shall go out, man. Brothers got to keep that in their mind, man.
Come.
Right? What do you think happens? What do you think happens when we be in counsel? Sometimes when a person get too contentious that we can't talk to them, what do you think is gonna happen?
They gotta go out.
They're gonna have to go. You can't stick among the people, man, and think you can be among people. You not listening to no counsel or nothing. Brother, you got to go. Right? Sister, you got to go. Right? The Lord told us plainly to cast out the scorner, and contention shall go out. But we see examples of this all the time.
Come.
Right?
Come.
Read.
Yea, strife and reproach shall cease.
It said the strife and reproach shall cease, man. Big con, Dexter, you got to shake the dust off.
Mm-hmm.
You got to shake that dust off, man, sometime.
Come.
Because everybody don't want this truth, man. Right? Verse 11, man.
Verse 11. He that loveth pureness of heart.
Because this is what the Lord is expecting us to do. Think about us in the truth. We got to love people that's pureness of heart. Some people, guess what? They see things that make them laugh and make them happy and stuff like that. And, ooh, that's good. But they ain't got no pure heart. A pure heart, guess what? Hey, brothers, it's going to be all right. Sisters, it's going to be all right. That's a pure heart. No, get up, pick yourself up, man. Let's see what the Lord wants us to do. That's a pure heart, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Read.
For the grace of his lips, the king shall be his friend.
He said, the grace of his lips, the king shall be his friend, man. That's what kind of, I want the Lord to be my friend, man.
God.
Right? Because a lot of times, brothers and sisters don't have nothing good to say. It's nothing good. But what we gonna try to do, we're gonna strive for the Lord and let the Lord fight our battles, man. Because we fight so much, tooth and nail, trying to get ourselves in the right frame of mind with the Lord, but we not listening.
Mm-hmm.
We not listening. Because whatever that man inside you that's making you fight against the Lord, it's you that's fighting against him. He gave you directions. We got to be willing to take the direction the Lord gave us, man. Let's go to Sirach chapter 28. These always pick me up the precepts, man. Sirach chapter 28. In verse watch this. Start at verse 8. Watch how this go. And I want brothers and sisters to pay attention on how this go. Sirach chapter 28 and verse 8.
The book of Sirach, chapter 28, verse 8. Abstain from strife.
It said first abstain from strife. Right, read.
And thou shalt diminish thy sins.
And guess what? This is how you get rid of sin, when you abstain from strife. Right? You ain't got to go back and forth and do the extra with people. You can diminish from sin when you abstain from that thing, right? Read.
God. For a furious man will kindle strife.
Think about this. We have always been around some people that do this. A furious man kindles strife, right? Mm-hmm. What brings on strife? Contention. What brings on contention? It said only by what? Pride. Is what we were dealing with earlier in the class, right? Right? But read.
Verse 9. A simple man disquieted friend.
It said a simple man disquieted friend. He bring uproar to the people. Mm-hmm. Read. And
make a debate among them that be at peace.
You see how they go?
Go.
Verse 10.
Verse 10. As the matter of the fire is.
So as the matter of the fire is, read.
So it burneth.
So it burneth, read.
And as a man's strength is.
As a man's strength is, read.
So is his wrath.
So it meaning what? The more that fire burns into a man when he full of his contention, the more fire he'll bring. All right?
Go.
And it goes for woman or man, right?
Go.
It's what the scriptures say, right? Read.
And according to his riches, his anger rises.
According to his riches, his anger rises, read.
And the stronger they are which contend, the more they will be inflamed.
The more they out the spirit, the more they be inflamed, right? The more anybody get out the spirit, the more they be inflamed, man. This is clear, right? And because the riches goes into a person, thinking about the riches goes into a person, it goes into a person's understanding. We just dealt with the riches, right? And going into mainly going into a person's understanding. So the more they get out of the spirit, the more they will go further and further away.
Come.
Right? Read.
Come, verse 11. And hasty contention kindleth a fire.
A hasty contention killeth a fire. Read.
And a hasty fighting sheddeth blood.
And sheddeth blood. You see how they go? That's why when we got to make sure we put checks and boundaries on ourselves, man.
Come.
Right?
Verse 12. If thou blow the spark.
If you blow the spark, meaning if you blow your breath or blow some wind on a fire or spark, right? Read.
It shall burn.
It's gonna burn, right? It'll keep the fire going. Read.
If thou spit upon it, it shall be quenched.
If you spit upon it, I mean, it said it shall be quenched. Read.
And both these come out of thy mouth.
And both of these things come out of our mouth. You can either blow on it to keep it going, or you're going to spit on it to put it out. Both of these things, the Lord said both of these come out of your mouth, out of your mouth, man.
Come.
Right? Watch this. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Ecclesiastes chapter 7.
Okay.
From verse 9.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 9. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry.
So don't be hasty in your spirit to be angry, right? Read.
For anger resteth in the bosom of fools.
This is what we read in Sirach chapter 28. Right? This is the same thing we read in Sirach chapter 28. That's why I said, be not hasty in the spirit to be angry. Because anger rested in the bosom, in the spirit, in the bosom of a fool, mean rested in your spirit. Right? Read on.
Come. Hold up. There you go. All right. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these?
Right, read.
For thou doest not inquire wisely concerning this.
So guess what? Thou not inquire wisely concerning this. Read.
Wisdom is good with an inheritance.
So wisdom is good with an inheritance. It's going to explain it. Read.
And by it there is profit to them that see the sun.
Right? So guess what? Day by day you'll see the profit of a person holding their spirit or a person being in haste and anger. Right? You're going to see whether profit or diminish, you'll see which way. Right? Because it, like verse 10 say not thou that what is the cause of the former days whereby better than these, right?
Yeah.
Meaning what? You thinking that the old spirit that was on you, think that it was better than the spirit that you got on you now that was supposed to be built up in you.
Come.
Right? Verse 12, watch this.
Verse 12, for wisdom is a defense.
It says, what's a defense?
Wisdom.
It said, wisdom is a defense, read.
And money is a defense.
And money is also a defense, read.
But the excellency of knowledge.
But your knowledge, right, read.
That wisdom giveth life.
That wisdom giveth life, read.
To them that have it.
There's them that have it, right? All these things right here helps to build a man's spirit up, right?
Yeah.
But let's read on.
Come. Verse 13. Consider the work of God. For who can make that straight?
He said, consider the work of God. Who can make things straight, read?
Which he hath made crooked.
Which the Lord made crooked. A man can't make God, the Lord made those things crooked, you can't make it straight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shout out to the people that's eating pork and all the unclean food. The Lord said it's unclean, that's where it's at.
Come.
Right? Read.
Verse 13. Consider the work of God. For who can make that straight which he hath made crooked?
Right, read.
And in the day of prosperity be joyful.
In the day of prosperity be joyful, read.
But in the day of adversity consider.
But in the day of adversity be considered. It means you got to have a mindset for both ways. Whether you're prospering or whether you're not, you got to consider both of these. Right? Read.
God also hath set one over the other, to the end that man
It
should,
says, right, read it again.
God also have set the one over the other,
One over against the other.
against the other, to the end that man should find nothing after him.
So that the end of the Lord find nothing after him. Right?
God.
You got to think about these things, man. God set these things up and he expecting us to be in a frame of mind to think about these things, right?
God.
Go to Proverbs chapter 14, verse 29. Mm-hmm.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 9.
29.
29. He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding.
He said, he the slow of wrath. He said he is great of understanding. Read.
But he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly.
And we hope brothers and sisters get that understanding, man. And with that, we're going to give our honor and praise to the Most High and Son, Yahweh. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for tuning in. Y'all like and share the video. Y'all help us push this truth around the four corners of the earth. We said keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Our precept we going into today for the law is Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 21. Hope brothers and sisters got edified today. Hope brothers and sisters get themselves in the right spirit. And we're gonna keep working on this thing, man.
God.
Keep building, man. Read that out.
God. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 21. When thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord thy God, thou shalt not slack to pay it.
You should not slack to pay it. Read.
For the Lord thy God will surely require it of thee.
The Lord gonna sure require of thee. Read.
And it would be sin in thee.
Right. So I mean, if you vow a thing to the Lord, you got to pay that thing. Because if you don't, it's gonna be sin in you. That's simple. Right. So when we did, we give our honor and praise to the Son. We give our honor and praise to the Most High and the Son, Yahweh. But that, the hour of power.
God. Shalom.
Shalom, bros, Hebrews, she-brews. Y'all have a good week.